Hello everyone. In today's class, we will discuss about Chapter 5 Market Equilibrium. Before going to this chapter, already we studied from the chapter 2 about the behavior of a consumer, and from chapter 4 we discussed about the producer's behavior. And here also the fourth chapter, which continuity from this chapter till its completion. So let us see the introduction of this chapter. From the second chapter, consumer behavior, we discuss about the demand concept, and third chapter about the firms, about the producers, and we combine both the consumers and the firm's behavior to study the market equilibrium. So through the demand concept and the supply concept analysis, and how it is determining the price and how the firm is attaining equilibrium situation. First of all, equilibrium means equal. So what is equal? Demand is equals to supply. For example, 10 equals 10 means 10 is equals to 10. So equilibrium. So market equilibrium means here we will examine the effects of demand and supply and how it is shifting the equilibrium level. At the end of the chapter, we will look at some of the applications of demand and supply analysis. Now let us see this chapter. We are continuing already, as I said, the consumers and the producers aspect. So this market equilibrium we are studying under the perfect competitive market. So a perfectly competitive market consists of buyers and sellers. So market means where buyers and sellers will be there, who are driven by the self-interested objective. So for the buyers, what will be the motive? Maximum satisfaction. For the seller, maximum profit. So for the buyer, maximum satisfaction, we use the term utility, and for the sellers, the profit will be the main self-interested objectives. So from the chapter 2 and 4, the objective of the consumers are to maximize their respective preferences, and that of the firms are to maximize their respective profits. So both the consumers and firms' objectives are compatible. So we are bringing together and how it is attaining a equilibrium situation. So buyers and sellers, how this, for the buyers it should get maximum satisfaction, for the sellers you should get a maximum profit. How this will attain a equal, how it will become equilibrium situation. First of all, we'll study about what is equilibrium. So first of all, an equilibrium, as I told you, equilibrium means equal, okay, same. An equilibrium is defined as a situation where the plans of all consumers and the firms in the market match. It will match means, as I told you, for the consumers satisfaction, for the firm it is profit. So when both get the satisfaction and the profit, what will happen in the market means the market will be clear. The goods what they have, the producer will sell the good and the consumer will buy the goods. So when buying and selling takes place, the market will be cleared. That is called as an equilibrium. I can say in some other terms, the aggregate quantity that all firms wish to sell. So here, how much aggregate means total goods. The total goods what the producers sell, that will be equal to that all the consumers in the market wish to buy. So under the perfect competitive market, we know that firms are a price taker, and the consumer has to just pay the price. Okay, so whatever the goods, the aggregate goods sold by the sellers, and the consumer will buy that goods. Okay, so this is market supply equals market demand. So market supply will be equal to market demand. We call it as equilibrium situation. Now we'll see what is equilibrium price. So equilibrium price at which equilibrium is reached. So when the equilibrium is reached in the market, it is called as a equilibrium price. And the next one is equilibrium quantity. So equilibrium quantity means the quantity at which bought and sold at equilibrium price. So I can tell like this also, the quantity bought and sold at this price is called as a equilibrium quantity. So therefore how it is indicated means, therefore P star and Q star is an equilibrium if. So how we can represent this equilibrium means, I can write it down here, Q D into P. This is, the star indicates equilibrium price, right, equals QS into P. So Q indicates quantity, D indicates demand, P indicates price. Again here, so Q indicates quantity, D is demand, P is price, S is supply, again Q is quantity and P is price. Okay, so the quantity demanded, and quantity demanded at what price? Equilibrium price, when the consumer gets the maximum satisfaction, equals to the quantity supplied. The prices when they get offered for a sale by the seller, and when they get the profit, when that both are equal, we call it as a equilibrium quantity and equilibrium price. Got it? Now we will move towards another concept called equilibrium market, that is market equilibrium. So a market equilibrium means it is a situation where the plans of all consumers and the firms in the market match and the market will be clear. So here quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. Okay, so bit we will see about the excess demand and excess supply. First let us see what is excess demand. Excess demand means it is a situation where the market demand exceeds the market supply. Excess means more demand. So you can observe in the diagram. So you have to remember the basic concept from the second, third chapter. As we know the law of demand. So in the law of demand, when the price is less, the demand is more. When the price is more, demand is less. Okay, you observe in this diagram which is given, when the price was 2, the demand was this much. Okay, so when the price is less, the demand is so much. That means what? When the price is less, the demand was high. And you look the price here, when the price is 14, the demand is only Q2. Okay, so when the price is high, the demand is less. Okay, so what will happen to this means, it will lead to the excess demand. So this portion which is indicating the excess demand. So when the demand was excess, when the price of goods are lesser, when the price is less, the demand is more. So therefore we represent that as QD is greater than QS, right? Now we'll see what is excess supply. Excess means more supply. When the more supply is possible, it is a situation where the market supply exceeds the market demand. That means, so now you have to know the law of supply. According to the law of supply, when the price increases, supply also increases. When the price decreases, supply also decreases. Now, when the price was less, okay, we'll take, suppose the price is 4 less, the supply was only this much, okay, and when the price is more, when the price was more 12, see the supply, how much the supply is, right? Okay, so in this schedule which is indicating, this portion indicates the excess supply. Okay, so when the price is less, the supply also will be less. When the prices are more, the supply also will be more. Supply will be this much. So here this point which is indicating the excess supply. Okay, therefore here Q is quantity supplied is greater than quantity demanded. Okay, here the price will be increasing. Now let us move towards the another important concept which is called as the market equilibrium with a fixed number of firms. Now I wanted you all to listen to this carefully. So under perfect competition, market is said to be in equilibrium. So under market equilibrium, here perfect competition, the market will be in equilibrium when quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. Here, with the help of a market demand curve and market supply curve, we will determine where the market will be in equilibrium when the number of firms is fixed. This can be illustrated with the help of a following diagram. Now, I wanted you all to listen to the diagram a bit carefully. Now, listen to this. This is OY axis which is indicating the price and OX axis indicating the quantity demanded, and the blue line which is showing the supply curve sloping upward from left to right. This is the supply curve. As the law of supply we knows, when the price is less, supply also will be less. When the price is more, supply also will be more. And the red curve sloping downward from left to right, this is the demand curve. Okay, here the law of demand knows that when the price is less, demand is more. When the price is more, demand is less. Clear? Now, so when the firms under the fixed number of firms means firms are fixed, only so many firms only are there. For example, mobile companies means how many mobile companies means for fixed numbers. For example, 50 mobile companies or 30 mobile companies, for that we used to say fixed. So this is under the perfect competition situation. So how the market is attaining a equilibrium. In the introduction itself I told you equilibrium means equal. When the buyers and sellers, when their plans both are matching, the market will be cleared. So how the market is when the firm will attain or market will attain a equilibrium position. See here, this star P1, this is the original price, and here Q star. So now you can look here, this is the original price, this is the original quantity, the Q star and P star. So when the price is P star, the quantity supplied will be Q star. So where the supply curve and the demand curve intersect with each other at point E. Intersect means cutting each other. The supply curve and the demand curve are intersecting each other at this point E. So at this point E, the market is attaining a equilibrium position. When the price was felt okay by the consumer and the price which is sold by the seller, when that price bringing a profit to the consumer, at that point where the supply and the demand curve intersects, here the market obtained a equilibrium situation. In this diagram we can understand another thing also. it is leading to excess supply and excess demand. Okay, now let us understand the excess supply. So when the price was P1, the supply was Q1, right? Now when the price was P2, the supply was Q2, this much. Okay, we know that when the price is less, the supply was less. When the price is more, the supply also will be more. At that time it leads to excess supply. Okay, look at here how much the supply is when the prices are more. Okay, fine, it leads to excess supply. Now here, according to the law of demand, when the price is lesser, the demand is greater. When the price is more, the demand is less. Look here, when the price is P2, the quantity supplied is Q1 2. When the price is P1, the quantity supplied demanded is Q1. It leads to excess demand. Got it? So at this situation, now our concept is how the market equilibrium is achieved under the perfect competition with fixed number of firms, means where the supply curve is intersecting the demand curve at point E. At this point, the quantity supplied demanded is Q naught and the price fixed is P naught. So at P star and Q star, the market is in equilibrium, where we say QD is equals to QS. Got it? So this is the concept all about the market equilibrium under the fixed number of firms. How the market equilibrium is achieved? Through the simple concept. If you have any doubt, you can call to me.